Classic Restos Trucks Edition Series 2, proudly brought to you by Gleeman Truck Parts, Premier One Products, and Shannons Insurance, where you can become a member of the Shannons Club. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Classic Restos Trucks Edition as we rocket our way through Series 2. And of course, Classic Restos Trucks Edition Series 2 is not possible without the cooperation and support of some fantastic major sponsors. When it comes time for only the very best in insurance for your classic truck, parts for your classic truck, cleaning products for your classic truck, and feeling peckish and time to crack that good egg, go to classicrestos.com.au. The major sponsors' logos are there on the homepage. Click on those to be directed to their websites for more information as to how they can help you. Classic Restos is the only TV show that brings you classic trucks and their stories of this kind. Trucks have helped build our nation, not only here in Australia, but all over the world. It was once said to me that being a true trucker has to be built into your gene pool. Classic trucks may go back with a father, a grandfather, and maybe one even before that. True classic truck drivers are at one with their truck. They are at one with the road. They live it and they breathe it. They are the backbone of every item put onto our shelves that we buy in shops. Their legacy must be respected. And there are hundreds of stories such as this. With me now I have Jason from Kloss Custom Trucks here in Victoria. Welcome back to the show, Jace.
Good to have you back, Fletch. Welcome to sunny Victoria again.
Mate, you put the dry stuff on for me, didn't you?
Yeah, we certainly did. Had a couple of big days of rain, so we can't do much about that.
Okay, we've got a beautiful brand new Kenworth T909 here. But the reason we're going to have a chat about this, it's in tribute to the gentleman and his life. What's the story?
Yeah, it certainly is, Fletch. We've got a really good customer and friend of ours by the name of Terry Thurwood. He operates a good-sized transport company. Now, he actually approached us to do a tribute truck for his father, Frank Thurwood, and as the boys said, they'd be more than happy to take it on. So, yeah, we've actually gone about sourcing out a painter and everything else for this truck, for the mural, which you'll see shortly, and is, you know, a really remarkable resemblance of Terry and Doug's father. Obviously, the families were, you know, absolutely chuffed that we took it on, and yeah, we sort of run with it, and this is the final product.
Although there's only two murals on the back there, it still depicts the timeline, starting off with his first truck, obviously there with his international, doing interstate work, and then working his way through to a Kenworth. These guys live and breathe the road. It's true legacy for this country with transport, isn't it? Yeah,
it certainly is. Without these guys, I don't think the transport industry would be the way it is sort of now. A lot of the trucks that are getting around now are a tribute to the older trucks from the olden days, from sort of around the late 70s, 80s and 90s, and it's good to be able to replicate something like that. This truck here, it was really an absolute honour to work on. All the way through the build, we were sort of, you know, you always had in the back of your mind who it was for and what it really meant to the family. So, yeah, it was a really good experience to work on it.
This sort of stuff really tugs at the heartstrings, doesn't it? I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it certainly does. The day we actually finished this and rolled it out of the shed, Terry actually came down from Melbourne, and to see the look on his face was just amazing. It was really good to know that it really meant something to him and his family, and also to us as well.
So, Jason, what's Pronto?
Well, Pronto Freight Express was actually Terry's dad's business name way back, and he actually went and re-registered the business name only 12 months ago. With the intentions of building this truck. So Pronto is synonymous back in the early, 70s and 80s, and a lot of people have only just realised now that, who Pronto Freight Express was, and it's good to see that getting replicated again here.
Mate, 2014 T909, already an outstanding truck, and with your additions, mate, it's just that much better, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much, Fletch. And yeah, thanks to the boys and Terry and Doug and families for letting us do it.
With me now I have Norm from Cornoot Brothers Earth Moving. How are you, Norm?
Yeah, good, thanks, Fletch.
That's right, mate. Thanks for coming down today.
No problems.
Mate, 1985 SAR Kenworth. These are iconic, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, and this one being a gold nugget. It's one of the gold nuggets. Yeah.
Very significant.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tell us the story with yourself. Where did trucking begin with you and your interest in these things?
Yeah, my father's into earth moving, and we all grew up being earth moving guys and trucks and stuff, and we lived in Wallen, and where the old Northern Highway used to go through. and just always had an interest in trucks, and and we mostly earth moving is what we do, but we've got a truck passion, so all of these trucks, and we've got a collection of these ones. So.
Being a little kid, sitting on the side of the highway, watching them go past, listening to them.
Yeah, we used to be able to pick the sound of the trucks coming down the hill, and just to sit on the side of the highway for hours. So.
There's something about that. You know, what other hobby can give you the opportunity where all you need is a couple of chairs and a highway and you can entertain yourself for hours?
Yeah, and we can still do it now. Exactly. So no, it's great.
We're all still just big kids, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Playing in a big sand pit.
That's the one. Now, Norm, tell us about this particular truck. How long have you had it, and what's it like to drive?
This truck I brought off Justin and the Closs boys, and probably is 2010. So I've had it for 4 years. We don't work it, it just sits in the shed looking pretty. We take it out to all the truck shows and take her on some runs.
Norm, must be good to be in a position where you've got this classic truck where you can just technically drive it on a Sunday. I mean, let's face it, I mean, the big girl is in early retirement.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she sits in the shed beside all the other toys, the GT and stuff, but she always gets a run. So
To think of all the millions of kilometres that these trucks did, it's kind of like a nice reward for them in the end to be preserved like this.
It's just same as any the old cars and stuff. Yeah, they're beautiful, and the quality and the amount of trucks that are getting restored at the moment, it's just beautiful. Yeah.
Norm, tell us a bit about the history of this 85 truck. What parts of Australia did it run?
Mostly Sydney to Melbourne and Brisbane. I'm pretty sure did it. Yeah, but mostly the market runs. Yeah, the fast runs from Melbourne to Sydney.
Now stick around, because after the break we're going to be back with Norm, and he's got a very unique Kenworth T908. What does this pile of dirt have to do with today's show? Absolutely bloody nothing. But we'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back. When it comes time for the very best in insurance for your classic truck, parts for your classic truck, cleaning products for your classic truck, and when you're feeling peckish and it's time to crack the good egg, go to classicrestos.com.au. Major sponsors are there on the homepage, waiting to be of assistance to you. Norm, welcome back.
Thanks, Fletch.
Mate, what have you done here? When we talk of custom, well, you look up custom in the dictionary, there's a picture of this bloke, because look what he's done to this Kenworth. You've made it smaller, you've dropped it on the ground. Tell us what you've done.
Yeah, it's a miniature T908. So we've got a Kenworth cab, custom built bonnet, sleeper, all put onto a 5-tonne Isuzu chassis.
Okay, how good is this? When you say Isuzu chassis, what, SBR, JCR?
Yeah, SBR 500. Yeah.
And engine as well?
Yeah, we left the diesel 6-cylinder Isuzu in it with the 6-speed gearbox and the Isuzu diff.
Mate, let's just look at the engine real quick for a sec. It's easy to work on.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of room in underneath the bonnet there, even though the bonnet's half the size it used to be. So.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk early 80s, I mean, we're talking fairly basic.
Yeah, early 80s chassis and stuff. But all the trucks, sort of the cabin and stuff's all 90 model cab, and but the bonnet is all just custom that we built.
Now, Norm, it's a little bit of a bitzer. We've got some 80s technology, some 90s technology, all wrapped up into this custom truck, right through to the back with a small turntable. What goes on there? Yeah,
that's just a miniature Holland turntable. So you could get that size turntable, which sort of suits the scale of the truck that we wanted. So.
And what do you put on it?
Well, we've got a motorhome that we tow with it as well. We've got a 12.5 metre long motorhome, so that goes on the back.
Jeez, mate, you must get some looks with that on the back.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely awesome, yeah.
Norm, what inspired you to go this way?
I seen another one from Albury built similar to this one, and we've built another one. This is the second one we've built. But I've seen a guy had sort of had a go at one and built one, so we thought we could do it. And rather than buy something, we like to build them. So
isn't it just good to be a bit of an individual, to stand out, be a little different at what you do?
Yeah, absolutely, and just love putting bits together that weren't supposed to be put together.
Did this turn out better than what you thought it would?
Yeah, this one's exactly how I wanted it. So yeah.
I mean, we look inside too. I mean, what a beautiful interior.
Yeah, all brand new interior inside, all custom Bostrom seats, and
you can smell the leather.
Yeah, she's brand new. Yeah. So.
The truck build time, how long did it take you?
I started. It took about 7 years, but probably the last 2 years, pretty much full time, every sort of second night, and a lot of weekend work. But and it just custom stuff just takes a long time. So.
What's the reaction from other trucks out on the road?
Oh, they just all love it. Yeah. Just
want to know what it is.
Yeah, the first thing is what's the chassis. Yeah. That's the first question you get. What's it built on? So but heaps of questions, and
Mate, of course you haven't compromised when it comes to the shiny stuff as well. I mean, it's laced with chrome and stainless, just beautiful.
Yeah, no, we like our chrome, and the paint just worked out really good. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, how about we take it for a run? Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Norm, it's been a wet one, mate, but I really appreciate you having time off out of work, bringing your trucks down here today to Kloss.
No worries, Fletch. Anytime.
Good on you, mate. I tell you what, when it comes to customising trucks, this is a little beauty, and I've got to take my hat off to you. Give you 10 out of 10 for that.
Thanks a lot, Fletch. Appreciate it.
Good on you. Now stay right where you are, because we're going to be back very soon with some more classic trucks right after this. Welcome back on today's episode. We've got Shane now from SBL Logistics here in South Geelong, Victoria. How are you, Shane?
G'day Fletch, how are you?
Good, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming down here to sunny downtown Geelong in a wet day.
You've done it again, mate. You've bunged on the good weather.
Yeah, well, you know, it is Victoria. If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
Now, Shane, we have a big banger behind us, and what a glorious old truck this is. A 1986 Kenworth. It's got a ton of history. Tell us a little bit of the deal.
It's actually an ex-Cleveland Freight Lines Mack Muncher, and for those who have been around the industry for a long time would know that the Cleveland trucks ran across the paddock from Adelaide to Perth in legendary times, pulling 2 trailers, and they really set the history of trucking in Australia. And we're lucky enough to have brought this one and restored it back to its former glory back in its 86 days.
I love the patina look. I love the originality of how it would have looked back in its time.
Yeah, it's kind of like stepping back in time for me. I enjoy driving it, and I'm probably one of the lucky ones in our business that get to get in this and go for a drive, and it really makes me feel good. And I guess it's about a great time, you know, when it was, you know.
I guess it's irrelevant, but interesting to most. Do you know the mileage of this truck?
Yeah, this truck's done 8.6 million kilometres. It's had been rolled over 2 to 3 times. It's had 2 or 3 cabins. It's been repainted more times than the Mona Lisa. It's had 7 engines in it. And when we put it on Facebook, all the history came out from people that drove it, all the way back to a guy who in Kalgoorlie who sent me a photo, Dave Braun, and showed me a picture of it when it was on his lawn day one when he got it. So yeah, it's just great history.
Shane, good truck to drive?
Oh, it's a beautiful truck to drive. It's not without its little creature habits. Big hump in the middle of the floor. Left-hand foot goes to sleep because it's sitting on a hump. The throttle sits in the middle of the floor. I wouldn't change it. I'd rather drive a 25 or 30-year-old Kenworth than a brand new one. And I've got enough of them.
And it'd pass any roadworthy.
Oh yeah, this thing has been has had an enormous amount of work to bring it back to roadworthy condition.
Since I've been doing Classic Restos Trucks Edition, I can't help but notice how many old trucks are still on the road. And we're not talking locally. I mean, I'm talking running up and down interstate.
Yeah, this truck has run Perth for the last 3.5 years with the other guy that I bought it off. And done it every day, every night, no faults, no nothing. I guess it's a testament of the way they built them.
All the miles that a truck like this does and how hard they work takes their tolls in other ways. Here's a close-up look from Shane himself.
Yeah, Fletch, for those of you guys who know about trucks that run across to Western Australia in the older days, the road wasn't as brilliant as it was. This particular side of the truck, which is the passing side, is completely stone chipped and stone pitted. The other side of the vehicle is lovely and shiny because there's no stones on that side. As you can see, all the way down in here, and we've kept the paintwork its original, how it was and how it was designed. We've deliberately not painted it because we want to keep this, the look and the feel of its history. And as you can see, this side here's got a lovely shine on it because there's no passing on this side, well, not when you shouldn't be anyway. The short nose cabin puts the engine a long way back into the cabin, and of course that means a little bit of uncomfort at times with your foot in there. Nice big high air cabin raised up underneath, plenty of airflow. And these trucks were designed to work in really hot weather, 45 degrees, 2 trailers, 70 tonnes, driving non-stop across the Nullarbor Plains. And that history is fantastic. 1,400 litres of fuel on board, enough fuel for the trucks to run all the way across without fueling between key points. We've gone through now and upgraded some of the things on it to more modern features. The chrome wheels are not what you would normally have seen in their day, or the polished guards, but it just gives it a nice feel. The airbag suspension, as we said before, the airbag is really a comfort thing, but it's also to allow us to be able to carry the 45-tonne gross on high mass limits. We've upgraded things such as the turntable to a ball race turntable, again giving it a more modern, up-to-date trailer capacity so that we can have a better tow. This vehicle was fitted with a small amount of optional extras from the factory. And those optional extras are water washer bottle, which was fitted back as an original item. And that is one of 2 items that were put on this truck as an optional extra, windscreen washers. Who'd have thought? As you can see, the condition of the vehicle is as is, and we've kept it there. We're going to try and keep it in this condition as long as we possibly can. Hopefully the next 3 to 5 years we'll be able to leave it with some small touch-up work around the cabin. The LT47 is the truck which was originally Letizia Transport, which is Cleveland Freight Lines, number 47. And this truck just has history. Inside, we've restored the signwriting. We wanted the signwriting to be done in our own, but yet still exactly the same as Cleveland would have had it. Justin Kloss from Kloss Custom Trucks did all the signwriting and did the signwriting to look as it would have done 20 years ago. Inside of the vehicle, we've begun to look at some of the small things, such as putting some lovely comfortable new seats in it for when you're sitting in it for those big long rides. And as you can see, Fletch, there's that big hump on the floor where the engine comes in. It's still fitted with its scanner that it had in it when we got it, which it was put in it probably way back in 1986. The dashboard still has a lot of its original bits and pieces in it, some little chrome extras just to give it a bit of personal feel about it. We haven't tried to make this truck 100% perfect. Tachograph in there has got an enormous amount of history inside that tachograph, back in the days when tachos were what they were. They're there. We've up in the overhead console area, we've got the UHF radios, which is the standard thing, and on the left-hand side you've got the scanner, which is part of the old history when drivers wanted to know where everybody was and what they were all doing. A little bit taller gear shift lever in this one, it's a bit of my favourite. I love the big tall gear shift lever. It just makes that comfort of driving just that little bit more, and I do the old saying, sit down low and looking cool, and that's the greatest thing about this truck. Fletch is pretty dark in there. That's the place where you go and retire at the end of the day when it's time for a rest. She's the 36-inch American high-rise bunk. She's got the big top clear windows in her, so for plenty of cool to get the cool into it. It's a lovely bunk to sleep in, very cool. And it's a good place to sit back when you've done a big day out on the road. Well, underneath the hood here is the 425 Caterpillar engine that was spec'd in these trucks way back in 1986. Still got its original Cleveland fuel pump on it. Said to be over 550 horsepower in their day. These engines were they were built for tractors, and that's how they basically are. As I said, this one's on its 7th engine, having done over 8 million kilometres. But most of the components are still pretty original that were fitted, having done 8 million kilometres. Again, I think it's a testament to the quality build back in their day. Yeah, over this side, Fletch, this is the cold side of the engine, we call it, but as you can see, there's no oil leaks running out of it or anything like that. We've just haven't had to do a lot to the engine on this one, but it was in such good condition, and it's been really good. All the front end has been restored in the truck to give it a beautiful feel and a nice drive, and I guess it makes an absolute pleasure. This vehicle does better fuel consumption than a brand new truck, but that was because there is no technology in it. This is just old school, old Y2, pre-Y2K, old mechanical. Well, Fletch, how about we start it up and let you hear a bit of what the old Rolling Thunder sounds like. Now that's a Caterpillar. And you'll find this beautiful engine just runs so sweet, and it's just a pleasure to drive. And of course, this does something the new truck doesn't do. This blows black coal. There's nothing better than a truck that blows black coal.
What an awesome ride, mate. Effortless power. These things to ride in, they are just so good.
Well, it is a Caterpillar, and it is a Kenworth, and it's an SAR, and it is a part of Australian history.
Shane, I want to thank you in appreciation of taking time out from SBL Logistics this afternoon. You do a lot for the community as well. You help a lot of people. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that you attribute to. And, mate, keep up the good work with everything that you're doing here with your transport business.
Thanks, Fletch, and it was a great to have you here today, and it's great to have you here and seeing what we do with these beautiful old beasts and seeing them back out on the road, and we look forward to people coming up and talking to us when we're out on the road, pulling up at a roadhouse.
So that's great, mate. Well, all I can say is I hope I'm invited to your next barbecue.
Absolutely. We have a hell of a barbecue down here.
Well, I hope you've really enjoyed this week's episode of Classic Restos Trucks Edition Series 2. And on today's show, it is a special thanks to Kloss Custom Trucks and, of course, Shane at SBL Logistics here in Geelong. Now, don't forget, classicrestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD boxed sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, looking for information on a Fletch tour, and of course how my major sponsors can help you as well. As I say at the end of every show, no matter where you're watching from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au.